Now that you've gotten your pictures for your identity collage, the next thing you're going to want to do is take the background of your images. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to hide my images so that I can concentrate on one at a time. Now, a few of my images were PNG files, and in that case, they already are translucent. So if you look at this picture, you can see it doesn't have a background, so I'm good with that one. If an item has a background, you've got a couple choices. You can always use the magic wand tool, and for this, that one's great because it's a white background, it's one color, so I would just select it and say Edit Cut. Okay. Same thing with my Legos. Take the magic wand tool, select it. Now sometimes I want it to select more, so the tolerance number up here, and every time you're on a tool, the options are up along the top. So I could create a greater tolerance, see how that takes more. I could make it even more. Sometimes the crawling ants, too much is selected, and in that case you would lower the tolerance. And if I wanted to get into these little spots, I could hold down Shift and click in there to grab that shadow. So I think I'm missing a few. I'm just going to hold down Shift so it, selects more and keeps everything together. So I think that's good. So then I can say Edit Cut. Okay, so I've got the background off of those layers. Now a couple of these layers, like my son, this one of Eli, I actually want to keep the background on that for now. I'm not sure I want to erase it. So for now, because I do want to show you how to take the background off, I'm going to duplicate this layer and say okay, and then hide this bottom one. So I've got a backup. Now, if I use the magic wand tool, it's selecting way too much, and it's selecting part of his face. Even if I lowered the tolerance, it's going to select just like little parts, and that's not going to be what I want. Okay, so I've got a couple different options. I can use this selection brush tool and select part of the picture and say Edit Cut. That does work pretty well. I'm a fan of the selection brush, I have to say. Edit Cut. Okay, and I'm going to hide these Legos. Okay, here's another tool you can use, and this probably would be textbook-wise the best one you should use, and that's over here, the magnetic lasso. So we've already used the lasso tool this year, the polygon lasso tool. The magnetic lasso tool lets you click around something and very carefully, it sort of just adheres to the edge of the image you're going around, but you just have to go slow and click every so often, and that's sort of like marker points, so it sort of anchors where you are, and then you can select an area, double click, and say Edit Cut. So that's a way that you can get into closer little areas. And when you zoom out, the background will be off. That's another clean way to do it. So those are really the three ways you're going to take off the background. So that's the magic wand tool, the selection brush, and the magnetic wand, the magic wand, the magnetic lasso, and your selection brush. Now, like for this one, I've got all these Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Did you know Yu-Gi-Oh is still a thing? It is. For the white, I can just grab this. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. I can grab the white and cut it off. But I actually want these, I want to sort of change these cards around. I want it to make it look like they're flying through the picture. I want them to be at different angles. So the first thing to do that is I do want to put them all on different layers. So if I draw a box around one of the cards, this is the rectangular marquee tool, and I just say Edit Cut, and then I say Edit Paste, that one is now on a new layer. So if you look over here, this one's on a new layer. And I think I probably would just go through and I would cut each picture out, marquee tool, box around it, and they're going to be super small when I'm done. Edit Cut, Edit Paste. Don't worry about how you're arranging your layers or sizing your things. Today you're just cleaning up the layers that you have. So you're taking off the background, and if you've got multiple things on one layer, you might want to cut them out and put them together hit paste, okay? So I've got 3 cards separate, these 3, and then I've got the one together. But if you look, I've got all the backgrounds off my images so that I am ready to go to the next step. So take your backgrounds off your images using those 3 tools: magnetic lasso, magic wand, selection brush, all of which I'll have for you on a handout. And then when you're done, and as you go, you're just gonna save what you have so that next time we can scan in some things and keep on working creatively on this. So I'm gonna save mine, identity collage. Hopefully, okay, part 1. Oh, I don't wanna collage. This one's part 2. It's not a video, okay? So save yours as you go, and we'll move on to the next step next week.